Hey, hey.
Hey, I guess we're live.
Yeah, I think we're live. How's everybody doing? It's Stuart and Will. We're here to end, end out 2024 and let you know what's going on, what's coming, what we did before, and we're just really excited to hang out with you guys. And we have a lot to get through. So we're first thing we're going to do is hit the 2024 roadmap and kind of blast through it, and then get to some really exciting stuff towards the end. It's all exciting, but it gets more. So I'll turn it over to Will.
Yeah, no, we're super excited about this, and we're going to be blasting through the updates from last year just so we can get to the more fun stuff at the end. Uh, yeah, all right. So to begin with, things for 2024. Encrypt Mu integration shipped May 2024, developed by AE Studios. Multi-chain browser extension wallet. It was great work on that. Kadena Spirkey SDK WebAuthn is actually one of my pet projects that Andy and the solutions team took over and did a phenomenal job with. Shipped October 2024. It was developed fully internally and allows users to generate and store key pairs securely on their hardware devices, these being your phones and computers, and sign transactions with biometrics. Grants. We've given away nearly 9 million in grants this year. That brings our total grants awarded to nearly 15 million since we launched the program in 2022. And as always, the vast majority of these were awarded in KDA through our platform share. RPC nodes shipped May 2024. This was developed by Tatum. Further development of this program continues, but hopefully it has made spinning up node servers a lot easier for developers. Turning it over to you, Stu.
All right. So more updates or more recaps. Staking and bonding. So this is something we started building at the very beginning of 2024. Kadena Cabinet shipped August 2024. Locked up over 1 million KDA to date. Developed by the former Echo DAO devs, and we have some exciting updates coming about Cabinet that we'll get to later. Storage partnership that we launched in January 2024 went live with Accord, and it provides on-chain storage for developers that takes advantage of some unique features of Chainweb there. Pack compaction, this is another one of these kind of like these things that don't seem so sexy, but are actually super important for maintaining a stable network. It's live on testnet. It's a work in progress between the core engineering team and community devs. And basically it allows node operators to delete historic pack state, and it just makes it, it's something that's part of running a modern blockchain node, is you need to be able to compact state. And because we have a unique model, it was required quite a bit of work. So congrats to the team on that. MetaMask Snap integration is code complete. We're holding the release until the new year. But this is going to be exciting because it allows users to sign for KDA transactions with their MetaMask browser extension. So that's exciting. I'll kick back to Will.
So, Kinesis Bridge, still in development-ish. It's extremely close. Developed by Ideasoft with Hyperlane technology, it will allow users to access assets between Ethereum and Kadena, which increases liquidity for our ecosystem, which is a wonderful thing, of course. We understand it's taken longer than expected. The bridge projects really just have, but it's a massive lift, and it's imperative that we get it right. So we're just as impatient as all the rest of you are, but getting it right does really matter. There's a chance it could still launch this year, but early January is more likely. I'm not a big fan of launching things right at year end when everyone's going on vacation. It's also why I don't allow things to roll out on Thursdays or Fridays, just because I don't like having weekends messed up with people. All right, stablecoins and Kudos protocol. Still in development, built by Protofire, lending protocol and native stablecoin, KUSD. Similar to Kinesis, it's a big deal. It needs to be done right. We're expecting this to be ready sometime after the first of the year as well. Stable wrapped USDC via Zelcore. This shipped in December 2023, developed by Flux. Fusion Bridge allowed users to transfer USDC from Ethereum to Kadena as ZUSD. And blockchain ETL. No longer pursued at the moment. Other projects have taken priority, but we'll be discussing this more in a bit. And back to you, Stu.
All right, so other highlights. CLI and IDE integration. This was bringing modern dev tool technology to Pact, developed by the solutions team under Randy. and its developer tools for faster and easier code deployment. Along the same lines, excitingly, the Dev Wallet and Chainweaver v3 efforts kicked off, already being used internally and being developed by our core engineering team with an external launch in Q1 2025. So we're excited about that. GraphQL, another like major dev tooling thing, shipped in April, developed by our solutions team. And it's basically a way to, it's the modern way to aggregate data from the blockchain so that apps, and it's what devs can use to make apps have access to all the data on chain quickly and easily. Layer 2 fast finality, this is another one where we were, that we've kind of, ground has shifted under us. We'll have some more updates on this, but the time it was announced, it made more sense for us to work on this, but things have changed. So we're not, you'll see what we're pursuing. It's not exactly a layer 2 story, but it's even more exciting. ZK Bridge with our partners at formerly called Lurk Labs, now called Argument. The initial code has been delivered, and we're in the process of testing it, standing up the relays, and we're going to be rolling out to testnet in early 2025, which is super exciting, and will take us from, you know, the two bridge, we're going to have 2 bridges in almost no time, which is going to be very exciting. And that was developed by our partners at Argument, formerly Lurk Labs, and it will be using SP1 Succinct Lab technology when it rolls out. ZK Wallet, that was OPAC wallet developed by Hackachain. It's going into testnet next month, January, and the MVP application is completed, but we're still working through operational strategies on that. You know, this is privacy wallets are an interesting piece of tech, but it's something that's going to be very important to Kadena. So we're very excited about that. All right, I'll kick back to Will.
All right, so Kadena client utils, packed up version management, all shipped in 2024. This is a huge lift. It was developed by the solutions team, and it's a library that provide a much higher level API for interacting with smart contracts. It's something we've needed for a long time, and I'm really excited to see it actually get out there in our front end stuff to just get such a big upgrade. Marmalade.js, so launched June 2024, developed internally by the solutions team. Marmalade functions are inside of Kadena.js. TypeScript-based API to make it easier for developers to interact with Marmalade smart contracts as well. HD Wallet, HD Key Generator library, also launched July 2024, also developed internally by the solutions team. Key generation capabilities based on BIP32. Oracles, DIA Oracle integration shipped on June 2024, developed by DIA, and Price Oracle for Kadena. It provides real-time price feeds for an array of assets. And finally, Sports Club Olympia. This was released in December 2024 and found by the community, of course, before we announced it. Built by a dev shop called Studio 54. Club Olympia is one of the largest South American soccer teams and built their fan engagement platform on Kadena, which is fantastic. Previously, they were built on Polygon, but they decided to migrate everything else so that they could scale up, which is the story that we've been telling for a while, and it's lovely to see it out there in production. Back to you, Stu.
Yeah, that Club Olympia, that's super awesome. But even more awesome is Pack 5. It's partially shipped, and you can't even begin to indicate what a huge lift this was. The benefits are enhancing network security, faster transaction execution, better diagnostics and testing, some new language features, although the focus is still, those are more to come. The focus right now is still on compatibility and just improving the pack that we know and love today. So that's mainnet in February 2025, following the Chainweb quarterly release cycle. This proof of attendance, something that was built by solutions team, demoed at DevWorld in March 2024 of this year, and it launched with Kadena Spire Key technology. It was a demo to mint an NFT to prove attendance, and super popular every place we've shown it. It's a really slick app, and it's a great demo of Marmalade. Soulbound tokens and private NFTs shipped in 2024 with the proof of attendance proof of concept. non-transferable token and NFTs bound to an account developed by the solutions team. Another solutions team delivery, account abstraction, implemented into the Sparky SDK in October 2024. It's user-friendly account management, provides more flexible and user-friendly ways to manage accounts across Kadena chains. All right.
All right. We accomplished a lot in 2024 and shipped a ton of great tech, but there's so much more to do in 2025. So now let's move on to the 2025 roadmap. First up, KIP process. We're doing a completely new KIP process that's being built internally based on community feedback. I know I've heard a lot of this from a lot of people over the course of this year, and it does need a big update. This will allow us to react much faster to KIPs and in a much more transparent way. This started with the implementation of KIP 31 as documented by Pascal and Amir. Also, Chainweaver v3. This is what we call Dev Wallet internally. Pretty sure we're going to go with the name Chainweaver v3. This is getting launched at the beginning. Well, the official end date for that project for shipment is the beginning of next year. I'm switching over to it. It's really freaking good, and I'm really excited to see like how this thing continues to be built out and get implemented. Dev Wallet, it has supports for keychain, multi-chain architecture. And it's a full update from the Chainweaver product and uses new features like Kadena Spire Key. Stu?
All right, so this is something I'm personally very excited about, and our CBO, Annalise Osborne, deserves all the credit for, which is an upcoming partnership with Onera. They'll be announcing this via their PR channels after the first of the year. The partnership, though, is finalized. It's definitely moving forward, so this will be the first official, this is where you heard it here first. And their network, it's just a tremendous RWA tokenization platform. Their network connects every major financial institution there is, and connects us to buy side, sell side, and other regulated organizations so that we can help simplify trading digital securities while keeping them compliant. Once the PR goes out, you're going to hear a lot more about this. You'll see more use cases and announcements shortly thereafter, because this is one of these kind of infrastructure partnerships in the kind of complex realm of tokenization and RWA. So super excited about that.
All right, PerpDex. This one's anticipated for Q4 2025. Decentralized leverage trading platform providing non-inflationary yield products through on-chain leverage trading. It'll help broaden out our user base, increase on-chain activity, and expand our DeFi ecosystem and offerings. Also, Kinesis Bridge. So the version that we're launching soon has just the link to Ethereum, and then the future developments in the Kinesis Bridge in 2025 will include integration with Ethereum layer 2s like Arboretum and Optimism, networks like Avalanche, BSC, Polygon, and Celestia. Overall, we're thinking about 120 tokens that are going to be able to be traded via the bridge. More developments about it are going to be coming in January after we get the first integration done.
Related to actually the Onera thing I was discussing before, we've been hard at work at a token standard for RWA, Kadena native. I think it's the ERC 3643. I probably have that wrong. And this is basically a lookalike of that, but that leverages some of the advantages of Pact in terms of making these things easier and safer to use. It enables the issuance, management, and transfer of permission tokens. This is the kind of thing that is really going to accelerate people being able to seamlessly build tokenization projects on Kadena.
So Wallet SDK. This is going to be a simple, unified interface to integrate Kadena blockchain functionalities into wallet applications. While this was supposed to be slated for 2025, we accidentally shipped it last week, so we've already achieved this 2025 goal, which is nice to have on this. Wallet adapter. This is going to be similar to Wallet Connect. Kadena's wallet adapter will be available for dApps to install and access all the whitelisted wallets in the Kadena ecosystem. Framework for wallet and dApp developers, including core packages and UI components, will enable very much the smooth interaction with various Kadena compatible wallets and vice versa. Basically just making it a lot easier to get the JavaScript plumbing to work with all the wallets and all the different dApps.
So returning to Pact 5, because as we said, it will be rolling out on February 10th, so that's a super exciting delivery. but we will be continuing to make improvements over time. And indeed, that's one of the reasons why we're excited about Pact 5 is that we can iterate a lot faster on bringing improvements to the language. It's basically Pact is finally going to be a modern, kind of modern language infrastructure under it. And so everybody's very excited about that. Relatedly, the Pact Toolbox is going to be coming out, which radically simplifies dApp development on Kadena. It's a grab bag of tools, including command line utilities, NPM packages, ready to use templates to streamline creation and testing and deployment of dApps. And it's all about reducing onboarding friction and improving the developer experience. So psyched about that.
Adding on to that as well is the DevNet sandbox. This will be a sandbox environment that allows devs to start and manage local Kadena networks very easily. Integrates features like on-demand mining and streamlined dApp testing utilities, integrated GraphQL instances, the works. It'll provide builders with a much more accessible space to experiment with and deploy blockchain applications directly. Indexer. HackaChain is already working on this, building a new, much more robust and reliable indexer that'll be hosted by Tatum. This is nearing completion and is already in testing with a release anticipated for February 2025. So definitely Q1.
All right. So we also have, we're going to be getting work done with permissioning, which is another thing that's really important for enterprise and RWA clients. It enables permissioning for institutional adoption, role-based access control, privacy, selective data visibility, KYC AML compliance. And we're also exploring how to leverage ZK technology to advance this as well. And one thing I do want that we don't seem to have on our list here that I also want to mention is that we will, as I mentioned, the ZK argument bridge will be rolling out in 2024 as well. As I said, we're looking at testnet in Q1. And that's the kind of thing that in a Q3 or Q4 timeframe will become a reality. So lots of stuff going on in the ZK world. Very important, another thing that often gets overlooked, docs. Where the docs team has been hard at work for like the past 8 months, and it's really going to revolutionize how you get information about all of our technology. Updated doc site. It separates core materials, Chainweb and Pact from all other materials. Ongoing efforts to update and simplify existing information, and it's also been worked on by marketing, core engineering, and our community hero Amir. And the updated doc site will launch on January 14th. So look for that.
Got another mirror-related one too. Kadena Academy. We're relaunching, the relaunch of Kadena Academy with Zero to Pact was a big success in 2024, but we've got a lot more work to do. Starting in January, we'll be pushing forward more and looking for a number of other potential tracks to ensure aspiring Pact developers have the information that they need to be successful. As I mentioned before, this is developed in cooperation with the Mirror. And now we get to the much more fun stuff because we've run through the bullet points from last year and the new stuff coming. So there's one more thing for 2025.
Blockchain began as a promise to bring security, transparency, and decentralization to a digital world. But over the years, some have forgotten that promise. Security traded for speed, costs rising with adoption, and the threat of centralized control. At Kadena, we don't compromise around those values. They are the foundation of everything we do. That's why we built Chainweb, a secure, scalable proof-of-work blockchain. Now, we're taking it further with the biggest technical advancement in our history. Introducing Chainweb EVM. 20 new EVM-compatible chains integrated into Chainweb. Support for both Solidity and Pact smart contracts in one ecosystem. A blockchain that delivers true decentralization with security and scalability built in. This is Chainweb EVM. Kadena, decentralized by design.
All right. Click video. That's the first time I saw it. But it's good to add some more context here. So, people saw our Solidity posting on our, Ever Alert community. And, so people have been suspecting that something like this was coming, but this is where we're officially giving you the dirt on this. And first thing to note is that this is something that both Will and I are personally very committed to and extremely excited about. We've both been very hands-on in how we approach this from a business, from a technical, even from a marketing and educational point of view, and working with everybody, but most importantly, working with John Wigley, with our leaders, John Wigley and Lars, who are technically leading this project.
I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, so I'm very excited to see, the whole company get the, just get in line behind, or get, just feel good about doing this and like really going for it. I mean, why do we make this decision? And it's because for a long time, we just thought the best layer 2 is a layer 1 that scales. It's about gas costs. And if you just keep having layers and layers and layers, as they get more saturated, the gas cost goes up. But if you can just scale your layer 1 and you can start adding different app languages to it, you don't have to worry about that problem. And then it can really be about what application specific deployments of, do you need really fast finality, or would you rather have really good decentralization and security and not have to worry about, okay, who actually has like the 3 keys that manages layer 2.
I think also what's really exciting about this is that it opens up Kadena to a bigger world. And that has many implications. It has implications for tooling. We're already starting to leverage the benefits of things like hard hat and some of the ways that they abstract running nodes for developers. And people will be more familiar with these technologies, and they'll also be useful for things, for when you're coding in Bakkt as well. But it's just something that also is a way for us to actually contribute back to all the smart contract development that has gone on in the various EVM ecosystems out there. By offering this idea of a layer 1 that's like a layer 2, but is got more security and gives you actually a better situation all around than your average layer 2 or subnet. We are helping all of crypto realize some of the benefits that everybody gets to enjoy every day here at Kadena, namely a parallel multi-chain experience where you can always scale your app to any level of performance it needs to go to, and as a result, you can and then you add in things like gas stations and multi-sig and stuff like that, and these are all things that we're going to start introducing to the EVM world. There is a question about how this, the question comes up, what does this mean for Bakkt? And that's something where I think this is huge for Bakkt, because now you're going to have Bakkt chains and EVM chains essentially right next to each other. You're going to be able to access an EVM chain just like we've been able to access Bakkt chains. And it's the kind of thing where there's going to be a lot more projects launching, and many of them are going to be launching in the EVM side. But as everybody knows, it's extremely difficult to develop kind of innovative solutions in EVM because it's such a dangerous environment, and it really rewards things like copying and pasting existing solutions out there, which of course is great for. So the idea is that, for instance, in like an RWA or permissioning context, you can have a lot of the more gnarly kind of stuff that you really have to get right and represents innovation that your project might be delivering on a Bakkt chain. And then it can seamlessly integrate with any Solidity-based technology you have on an EVM chain. So we think that this is going to be a chance for Bakkt to really shine and start working with, as opposed to against, EVM technologies. Excitingly, we're going to be telling the world about this very soon, although you're the first to officially hear about it here, at ETH Denver in late February. We'll have a booth to showcase Chainweb EVM to Ethereum developers, and we have speaking slots to introduce ourselves and address the EVM, the huge EVM and ETH ecosystem directly.
So we understand the importance of the developer experience, and we've already begun work in this area. Stu alluded to it before. The specific goal is that we want you to be able to use all the existing EVM tech on this new extension to the network that we're going to be building out. That is very much a top level stated goal of, you should just be able to go and onto one of the copy pasta sites, and it's very much a complementary tech where like you just take the code and all of the different tooling and all the different documentation, and just be able to use that by just rewriting a couple like APIs. New docs are going to be made for onboarding to make it easier because, yes, we're talking about a parallel execution environment, which is something that's kind of new, or isn't really something that is done as much. Usually people talk about sharding on EVM, which is much more about having parallel execution, but it's in the same kind of database. Whereas we're actually talking about specific multi-core environment, like multiple threads. Likewise, the teams have already started working on implementing similar developer tools in the Ethereum ecosystem, like Ethereum Hard Hat. Also, it's important to note, like, this is supposed to be complementary. It's not competitive. There's a lot of people who care about decentralization. A lot of them are on this, like most of the people on this call probably do. And we're trying to bring a properly decentralized, scalable, infrastructure for running smart contracts. And by opening us up, by having the EVM running on a chunk of the network, we open up the ecosystem and our community to just a huge chunk of crypto that we just weren't part of before. It's also important to note that EVM may be the first step. There might be other runtimes that we decide to implement as we expand and grow the Kadena network. Just because we're running, Pact and EVM next to each other doesn't mean that we can't run something else in the future. But that'll be more demand driven by, what the community is interested in and how the crypto ecosystem develops itself.
Yeah, it's really like, the other thing is that it's really going to demonstrate the advantage of Chainweb itself. One of the things in researching this project is, as we were preparing how we're going to do this, is realizing that the Pact system of parallel cross-chain transfers, there actually is not an equivalent ERC standard out there for that. It's basically burn mint on steroids. And it's the kind of thing that it's how we're really going to, Vitalik is not somebody who is unaware of the centralization challenges hitting a lot of the things that they did to successfully move to the merge, but also a lot of the stuff that's happening to combat MEV and things like that are all very exciting solutions, but they all, layer 2 as well, all of these things increase centralization. So this is something that Vitalik talks about and thinks about. So we're super excited to be part of that conversation. And then finally, it's really important for DevRel, for both DeFi and for RWA and enterprise clients coming on board. This is the kind of thing that increases their assurance that they're going to be able to develop and take advantage of all the things that we offer that no one else does, such as scalability, gas prices under control, and really important things for putting a professional product, bringing professional products to Web3. So this is really a big deal for us, and it's going to be a really exciting thing for Kadena. So that's Chainweb EVM, and I think that's it. Oh wait, I think we have there are a few more things because we know you guys like alpha. So we're going to throw a few more things at you before we go.
All right, so first one up is Galaxy. We're working to implement Galaxy, largest community engagement platform with over 30 million active users. And this is going to be with Kadena's blockchain and KDA. Integration is going to allow our ecosystem partners to build robust Galaxy programs so their users can be rewarded for their actions on KDA. The ink is barely dry on this deal. I think it got signed on Monday. It might have been Friday. And it's going to take about 6 to 8 weeks to implement. So we expect it to launch sometime in Q1 of 2025.
All right, another tidbit. We got Magic Labs. This is a non-custodial wallet as a service that is going to support Kadena Spire Key integration to enable biometric authentication. And it's going to support institutional adoption efforts to provide a seamless Web2 experience for Web3 solutions. This was announced on recently, but lots more coming around this in 2025.
So, also, major men's national soccer team, which I'm not allowed specifically to tell you the name of, but you definitely know their name, which is going to be fun. We've agreed to the terms with them, and it's going to be for at least the next 4 seasons. Kadena is going to be the official blockchain and cryptocurrency partner of the team, building fan engagement platform with them that includes fan tokens, digital collectibles, ticketing options, and much more. It looks like this is good. I think this one is another one where we're stealing from we're getting business from someone who's already built something on a different competitor, which is really nice. This is going to include World Cup games in 2026 and Euro Cup games in 2028. And we're Not announcing the name right now, as we are. This is a big enough press release that Mike has sworn that he'll kill my firstborn if I actually accidentally say the name. So I'm very much not allowed to. But this one's going to be really great.
Also, in upcoming partners that are too exciting to even say who they are, we are going to be integrating a major DEX onto the Kadena platform in 2025. We're in discussion with one of the most popular DEXs in Ethereum to integrate with Kadena's network, allowing users to trade, swap KDA ecosystem tokens directly on their DEX on our native platform. Deal hasn't. This is something we've been working on a while. The deal isn't signed, so we can't share more at this time. But this is something we're definitely doing, and we're very excited to share it with you. You'll be hearing more very soon. Along that note, coming with the Kinesis bridge and some of our other bridging efforts, there's obviously, as we move into these new ecosystems, it's very important to have token liquidity when we're there. So we will be, as soon as the bridges launch, we'll be establishing liquidity pools on leading DEXs in the Ethereum system. I'm not going to say who. For easy access of wrapped KDA tokens in Ethereum in the new year.
So things we can send the name of. Link's wallet. This is also a Radu shout out. As many people know, Kadena SpireKey has been a passion project for us, and it's recently hit mainnet. For this project to take off, we need dApps and wallets to integrate it, and we're really excited to announce that Link's wallet is going to be integrating Kadena SpireKey. Link's has been a tremendous asset to the community and built one of the best wallets in our ecosystem. So we're thrilled to see Radu and the team helping push our technology forward on this. Eco wallet with Flux. Eco has had a rough 2024, which was unfortunate. Amir and Pascal picked up EcoDex, rebuilt it, and launched it as Mercatus. Thank you again. Eco Wallet, unfortunately, it was in limbo until our friends over at Flux decided to step in and grab the reins. In talking with Dan Keller at Flux, we've decided to partner on Eco Wallet and keep things up and running. Flux is currently working on updating some of the issues in the old code, but Kadena is going to help support the new project, as we know it's an important asset to the community and to the ecosystem. Thanks again to Flux for reaching out to go partner with us on this.
All right, and something that people have been asking for a while is, where is Kadena at all these events? Well, in 2025, that's all changing. As we said before, we're going to be at ETH Denver, and we're also going to be at Davos, at the World Economic Forum, at Consensus, SALT NYC, ETHCC, Digital Asset Summit, and countless more as we ramp up our whole events story in 2025. If there is a major blockchain conference in the US, South America, or Europe, we're going to be there. And Annalise and the BD team did attend a number of events in 2024, 25 to be exact, but you ain't seen nothing yet. 2025 is where we're going to take over the world, or at least take over the events. Also excitingly, some updates on Cabinet, which I already mentioned. I think we need there we go. Rolled out Cabinet earlier this year as a test, and it generated huge interest from the community, and we are going to continue running this program in 2025 with more rewards and polls. We've allocated, over the first half, we've allocated 250,000 KDA, and since that was our first poll, responding to our first successful poll, we are planning to reopen the official Kadena Telegram after the start of the new year, after 63% of our community voted to reopen that channel in our first Cabinet poll. I think with that,
we're on to Q&A. Well, this has been fun. I guess I'll take the first question. So I got some starred questions from the marketing team. I'm just going to go through and pick what my favorite one is. Actually, we'll do the quantum computing one, which is always a good question. So the easy answer to this is that because of the very flexible way, actually the way that we got SpireKey to work is because we have a very flexible way of adding new key sets and new curves and signing signature systems to key sets in our protocol. So because of that, my take on quantum has always been, once quantum gets to a point where it is not a like nation state level threat, but it's a practical threat for being able to crack cryptography, then we'll be adding one of the quantum resistant curves to key sets, and working with the community and working with developers to get support for that new curve built into their systems. At this point, I don't think it's quite there. Interestingly enough, like, I don't think the quantum computing is quite there. Interestingly enough, when we were doing I think it was our first or second raise, one of the VCs we talked to, we didn't end up raising from, but they were like really, really into quantum stuff. So I just picked this guy's brain for like an hour. And he said the one to look out for is not the existing qubit infrastructure that they're building, but it's more the photon-based stuff, with the reason being that once you get the first, just a single qubit photon quantum computer running, that it's so much easier to scale it up. So like once you go from 0 to 1 on that, it blows everything else out of the water. But that with the existing infrastructure, that I don't know exactly what it's based on off the top of my head anymore, but it's not based on photons. And because it's not based on photons, you end up getting much higher error propagation as you scale it up, which is actually I think Google's main thing with their new release was that theirs is mostly about error mitigation. You end up having to I think it's like, I don't remember exactly how the scaling properties are, but it's bad. Where like as you have more and more qubits, you need more and more stuff just dedicated to trying to fix the errors. So hope that answers your question. We'll add a we'll add a curve that is resistant to quantum should the need arise, but we're not there yet.
I think there's we had a question that's of interest to me about from Joe Monaco about is it possible to dedicate chains to Bitcoin as well sometimes? So this touches on a few things. First, that one of the things we think is really exciting about Chainweb EVM is that it is bringing proof of work back, but scalable, efficient proof of work back into the EVM and Solidity fold. And this naturally makes it's obviously spiritually very close to Bitcoin. So we have actually been looking at a lot of opportunities in the Bitcoin L2 and bridge space. So that is something I don't think it's certainly possible to bridge Bitcoin. And that's something we'd be looking at. Although, sometimes these things are easier done by just getting like a TBTC or one of the protocols that's already live on Ethereum and bring that over to the chain and get access that way. But there's a lot of opportunity out there because Bitcoin miners are feeling the squeeze. So if you can bring utility to them, that makes for a nice story for a way for them to generate fees on, because Bitcoin miners are now all about fees. So but I don't think we would go, even though we have the ability to, as Will mentioned, we have the ability to have different application layers. I don't think a pure UTXO layer is necessary, just because it's not really a smart contract platform. So we would probably be looking at other, just kind of bridging based technologies to start working with the Bitcoin ecosystem. But that is certainly something that we're investigating as we go into 2025.
All right, I'll take another one. This one is, what is Kadena going to do in terms of marketing Chainweb EVM to all the Solidity devs all around the world? So just figuring out how to describe what we're building, where it's sort of like a layer 2, but it's really just a scalable layer 1, has been something that I've been having, weekly meetings for, I think, the last 2 months with the marketing team on, of just helping them to get their heads around this and like to figure out how to talk to people about it. I would actually love some community feedback on how we're approaching it, because it's tricky to discuss. We don't want people to think that it's just a layer 2, but at the same time, it looks a lot like a layer 2 and it sort of feels a lot like a layer 2. But the main thing that we're looking for here is just to have a scalable, basically to have it be very low effort to take your app that you're trying to run on Ethereum or you're trying to run on a layer 2 and just plop it onto Kadena EVM instead. So that's, I think, like the biggest thing that we're going to need to do. Also, we're going to be at the events. We're going to be doing marketing, like directly marketing for this. But just the integrations and the ease of use that it allows, we think is going to be speaking a lot of volumes too.
We got a question from LinkedIn user about strategic initiatives. It's a very long question. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's basically saying what are we doing to drive adoption and So first thing I want to say is you haven't seen anything yet. Especially with the nice news we've had, nice action we've had in the past month, improving our ranking. It is my personal goal to get Kadena back into the top 100 in 2025. And so we're doing a lot. And so people were probably around when we announced our pivot to business adoption in July. That was on the heels of hiring Annalise Osborne, our CBO, our extremely capable and fabulous CBO, who is also a thought leader, gets invited to speak. It's the reason why we're going to Davos. And the thing is that while it seems like you've probably all gotten to know her very well at this point, she's actually quite new at Kadena, and what's more, her approach is quite new at Kadena. So things like the Onera announcement, which is a super high-powered announcement, or like the advisors, B and Ilana coming on, these are the kinds of things that we're not taking anything lying down. We're actually aggressively going after these new markets. Her team has talked with countless partners already, numerous major banks, and what's more, Will and I have been in this game before, and we know what it's like to go around talking to those people. It's a lot of fun conversations, but the thing that's different now is the kind of enthusiasm and interest we're seeing because we offer something different, and it's because there's so much interest in public chain, but there's a lot of concern about public chain in enterprise as well. There's still a lot of people who are nervous about making the switch. And because of Will and mine's background, my background, both of our backgrounds at JP Morgan, my background in trading, Will's background in regulation and other financial areas, this is the kind of thing where we can speak to them, come to them where they are and talk about their needs and what benefits that the Kadena blockchain is going to bring to them. So, and even the things like the major soccer team and some of these other things, and the bridges launching and Chainweb EVM. These are all the kinds of things we're doing. Chainweb, even though we definitely said it's a pet project of Will and mine's, but that's not the whole story. The rest of the story is that it became clear that the pace of developer tooling and the adoption of EVM and Solidity technology is an unstoppable force. So this is the kind of thing that we were like, you know what, we're going to stop hampering our network from growing by not offering a technology that people understand and can accelerate with. So these are the kinds of things we're doing so that because failure is not an option here at Kadena, we're playing to win, and you're going to see a lot in 2025. And that's why both Will and I are super psyched going into this new year. And we'll, in closing, this is the kind of thing that makes us really exciting that you all hung around with us and stayed loyal to Kadena through this interesting, challenging, but really quite amazing year. It's going to be a doozy, I'm telling you.
All right, I'll take the next one. Let's go with the crypto gaming hub one of, is Kadena planning to create private chains for enterprises? This is a concept that has actually been discussed and came up. I don't know of anyone who actually wants this, and it's a possibility. We need to really talk with the mining community if that was going to be a thing of like how they would be correctly incentivized. It's not a no, but it's definitely a not at this time. It might be the thing that actually allows real industrial adoption of blockchains, is that you have a nearly infinitely expandable network, and you can actually have enterprises, specific banking consortiums, say, have their own dedicated chain on a public chain where they're the only ones who can actually transact on it. It's something that we've played with the idea, but there's no interest, and we're not focusing on it at all at this time. But it's a really clever question. Sort of related to this is, what's the impact to miners when Chainweb EVM launches? So, always we've had the attitude that mining is big business, and decentralization through mining matters. This is the John Ria question, and the way to think of it is, the majority of the vast majority of the energy or costs associated with running the network, it goes into mining. So even as we go from 20 to 40 chains, we're not expecting the cost of actually we're not expecting the cost to impact miners in a significant way. The mining hardware should just work. We're still planning on using, I believe this, we're using the same hashing function for it. So it's just under the hood at the application layer, it's going to be running EVM. So for miners who are just running a machine and they're connecting to a pool, I don't think it'll affect them. The pool will have to run, of course, as we double the size of the network, they're going to have to run, the nodes for that other half of the network that is coming online. But overall, we don't expect the price to be, significant in any way. It's always, our attitude has always been that it's de minimis compared to the, cost associated with actually, doing the mining itself. And we believe the mining is important because that's where decentralization comes from. I hope that answered the question.
All right.
I'll go grab my dog while Stu does the next question because I see someone asking.
Let's see here. So Ron the Wizard asked, does the EVM compatibility throw a wrench in the Kinesis bridge? Imagine that EVM will make it much easier than before. It does not throw a wrench, and it does make things easier. And it's true also of the ZK technology as well. When this launches, it'll be supported by all the bridges that will be operating at the time will support EVM chains as well. And all these bridges, since they're coming from Ethereum, they all have EVM clients. And one thing that's really important to stress with the EVM technology is that it will be 100% compatible with Solidity, EVM, and front-end tech. There's going to be no difference in terms of how you interact with that blockchain as you would with Ethereum, with Polygon, with any other EVM-based technology. So bridges it's going to increase traffic on bridges. It's going to increase the utility of bridges. And it's something that is central to our strategy, including the bridges that go between the Kadena chains as well.
Someone asked, Will, can you please show Izuki? Here's Izuki. She doesn't really like to be held that much, but yes. I'll put her down now. All right, let's do another one. I guess I can do one more. Let's do the Kadena miner one. With Kadena EVM, can ADAP run simultaneously on ETH and Kadena interact with each other? Or do they act like separate chains that must be bridged? So I'm going to assume that it means like if you have a pact on ETH and Kadena, an EVM run on both ETH and Kadena. No, it'll have to be bridged over. All right, sorry, I mistook it. I thought it was running like partially on a pact chain and partially on a EVM chain. There's going to be a need for a bridge if you're running on Ethereum and if you're running on Kadena on Chainweb EVMs at the same time. There's going to be a bridge for that. So yeah, so they'll be acting like separate chains that must be bridged.
All right, so great to chat with you all and share these exciting things with you, and thanks for your great questions. So in closing, again, as I said just a second ago, really appreciative of this amazing community and everybody that has stayed in touch with what we've been doing over the course of the year. We hope that everyone has a great holiday. Cheers to amazing 2025. I'm personally really excited about going out to all these conferences and seeing all of you out there. Will, what are you looking forward to?
I mean, I'm looking at like how many live viewers we have, which is crazy. So that's freaking fantastic. What am I looking forward to? More of this. Sorry, I got distracted by putting up the viewer count on YouTube so that I could actually go and freaking see it. What else am I looking forward to? I mean, seeing Chainweb EVM go. Oh man, the totally not allowed to say the name of the soccer team. I'm getting to announce that. That's going to be wild, especially because they. Oh wait, I'm not allowed to talk about that either. Anyway, that one's going to be great. We just can't announce. We were really trying to get it so that we could announce it before this, so we could talk about it here. But sadly, it took an extra week, so we can't. Outside of that, yeah, I mean, getting out to more conferences is going to be great. I really think crypto is going to have a wild 2025, and I really can't wait for us to be able to open up our network to the sea of Solidity devs and show them that, like, yeah, you don't have to just, use a layer 2 that, a couple people own the keys for. You can actually have a decentralized layer 1 and get to run your stuff and never have to worry about gas price.
Uh-oh, we got more news. I thought we were done. So this is some exciting news. It's happening right now. We have just dropped another 100,000 KDA into Cabinet. So this, again, is a great way to put your KDA to work and participate in all the exciting community discussions and debates that we're having, deciding the future of Kadena. It's been a huge success so far. So this is our little holiday fun surprise for you to if you've been waiting to get involved, now's your chance. So hit it.
Yeah. No, I'm so excited to see this back out there. And that cabinet even launched. I mean, like, it was, in the beginning, it was a rough setup in the beginning. It took us a little while to actually get it there. And now it's been fantastic. And I'm really excited to be using it all through next year too. So yeah, it's up, go get it. And it looks like we have, I think we're like 20 people off from hitting 10,000 active viewers all at the same time. No, we just hit 10K. All right, the marketing team will let us go. Happy holidays, everyone. This has been an amazing AMA. We are looking forward so much to the next year, and thank you for being through this insane ride.
Thanks so much for joining us. Will and I are really psyched to hang out with you, and you're going to be seeing a lot more of us in the next year, so stay tuned, and happy holidays.